Welcome to I Love Art for Kids, and today's project is the parabola. You are going to be using a 9x9 sheet of paper. It is a square, and we're going to be using a ruler, and the precise measurements you need to follow along to make sure that you use the exact measurements so it will turn out. First, we're going to start at the halfway point at 4.5 inches, and we're going to put that all the way around on all 4 sides. Just make sure that you are measuring accurately. Now, once you do that, you are going to draw the crossbars in across the page, across this way and across that way. So your page is divided into 4 squares. After the 4 squares are drawn, we are going to put our other measurement guidelines on. So we're going to measure at 1/2 inch all the way across the page, and each dot right at the edge of your page you're going to put. And you're going to do this on all 4 sides. I've speeded up here a little bit. If you need to pause the video at any point to finish yours up, you can pause and restart. Right now, putting the 1/2 inch marks on all 4 sides. Then we're going to do 1/2 inch all the way across the center lines. That's at 1/2 inch. Make sure that you're measuring carefully and putting that dot right on the line. You may pause your video so you can complete your paper. Now that we've completed putting the measurement marks on our paper, we are now going to begin to draw our parabola. It's very important that you line the ruler up straight and hold your ruler still with the lines that you've drawn. You're going to start with the first one out from the center and draw out to the edge of your paper. Then you're going to move the ruler down 1 notch and over 1 notch. So that's down and over. Then you're going to move down and over, down and over, down and over. You're going to continue going down and over until you reach the bottom notch and the outside edge of the paper. So down and over and down and over to the outside of the edge of the paper. Now when I lift my ruler, you can see that we drew all straight lines, but we created this nice round curve. And we are going to do that again in all 4, the rest of the 3 quadrants. So that will be in all 4 quadrants when we're done. You're going to start with the outside edge, over 1 from the center, and then you're going to move down and over, down and over, down and over, down and over, and down and over. I'm speeding up the video now so you can see what is happening. You can pause the video to do yours, but remember that if you need to check on what you're doing, you can always back up the video and to see where you're at, to make sure that you are lining up with the lines and going down and over, down and over, or over and up. Looks like that's what I'm doing with this next one. As long as you are moving one notch by one notch in the opposite, one going towards the center, one going away from the center. So down and over, 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 until your parabola is finished. Once the parabola is finished, you have this wonderful, almost 3D looking line design with arcs going on all four corners. Now we are going to take the outside dashes that we put on our paper, and we're going to use those to create an arcing ball design on the corners. So we're going to go from the first one over from the parabola. We're going to curve and follow that curve till we get to the dash on the other side of the paper. And we're going to do that for all of the dashes all the way down to the corner. So you're going to arc and follow that arc, not going straight across. Arc it and follow the arc until you get all the way down to the corner. And then you're going to do that same thing on all four sides. Be very careful to follow that arc and to go slowly so you can make that all the way around to the other point, and you'll do that all the way out to the corner on all four sides. As I'm completing this, you can begin yours. I will yours and to do for the rest of the four corners. Arc it around. Make sure you're going slow so you are making an arc and not going straight across. And you're going to do that around and down. I know it's a lot of repetition, but if you do this exactly as the instructions with the measurements, it turns out to be a beautiful project. So go ahead and do that last corner around, creating that ball design on each of the four corners, and just keep going. It's kind of like a quarter of a Kandinsky dot on all four corners of our paper. We keep going around and down until we get to the corner. Now we're going to take our ruler to do the next part. I'm going to start without the ruler, but I really should be using my ruler. But this does create such a nice 3D optical illusion effect. So now we are going to divide out our corners. We're going to start in the middle of that arc and draw it down to the corner. Then you're going to do that on all four of your corners, from the middle out to the corner, the middle of your parabola out to the corner, the middle of your parabola out to the corner. Now we're going to divide those corners a little bit more so we have some more sections. We're going to go from the corner and we're going to move it over about an inch on the parabola, and we're going to draw two more lines on each side of that center line. So move it over about an inch or so, which will divide it into 3 even sections, and go from the corner out We're not going on the edge of the paper. We're going from the corner to the curved part of the parabola. And we're dividing 2 lines on each side of that center line on all 4 corners. If you need to stop again the video to complete yours, you can go ahead and do that to give you more time. You want to make sure that you are doing it slow and correctly, making sure that you are taking your time to make it neatly done. And I'm going to my last section right now. I'm going ahead and drawing in those 2 lines on each side of the center line from the corner to out to the parabola, and finishing it up right about now. I hope you guys are having fun. I really like this project. It really looks cool when it's finished. It gives a nice optical illusion 3D effect, as I've said before. Now you can see right there how beautiful that is happening and how it is pulling out in the 4 quadrants. Now we are going to begin to fill in our design in a checkerboard pattern, and we are going to use hot or cool colors. I've chosen orange to be my hot color that I am going to be using for the next part. And we are going to be starting on the outside circled areas. We are going to color in the first section on that arc. I'm outlining the arc so it can go in a neat manner. And then I'm using the wide part of the marker to make a line across and fill that in neatly in one direction. No scribbles. But we are going to do it like a checkerboard pattern. So we are going to skip the next one and go over to the next one. So it's going to be a pattern around that circle, which is a orange, space, orange, space, orange pattern. So I'm going ahead and outlining around it and then pulling the marker in one direction around it, and that last space is white. Now we move down to the next one. We're going to start with that next one down. So now it is a kitty corner. It is only sharing colors on the corners. It is not sharing colors across the line. So you're not going to have an orange right next to an orange. Only the corners will be touching. And you will do an orange, space, orange with only the corners touching, space, orange. And you're going to continue to do that until you have filled in the design. So again, it is a checkerboard pattern. Only colors are only sharing the corners, not across the line from each other. And when you move down, you make sure you start with the opposite color. So when you're moving down from the top, it will be orange, white, orange, white, orange, and across it is orange, white, orange, white, orange. So you're making sure that you are doing that pattern in both the outward direction and the across direction, which makes that nice checkerboard pattern. I'm going ahead and I'm finishing up on this particular arc or ball that comes off of the parabola. And I'm going to continue to keep doing that with my hot color, orange, because we're using hot and cool colors in this design. And we're going to put the hot colors on the ball part, and we will use the cool colors on the parabola itself. So if you can see, that nice checkerboard pattern is coming out and filling it in. You can go ahead and work on yours and fill in yours. If you need to relay back to the video to make sure that you are doing the corners and making that pattern, you can always back up and review and keep looking. It is your pattern to follow. And if you need to stop it to work, you can go ahead and stop it to work at any time. And you are going to do this same pattern that you've done on this corner on the following corner. But as you start, if you see that we ended in orange there, the first one will start in white and we'll move over and do our orange second. So we're not having that orange side by side. And we're going to go ahead and do that same thing. Orange, white, orange, white, orange, white, orange, white, orange, white. I've speeded it up, so I'm going a little bit faster, but you can go ahead and you take your time, pause the video, do what you need to do, but make sure that you are doing that checkerboard pattern. Orange, white, orange, white, orange, white, orange, all the way down to the end. And then do that on the remaining two ball sections of the parabola. I can see that it is turning out really, really nice as I'm working. My hand's kind of in the way as I'm doing this last one, but I'm going really fast. So you can go ahead and work on yours while I'm finishing up mine here. Again, orange, white, orange, white, orange, white, orange, orange, white, orange, white, orange, white, orange. And keep following that pattern to get that checkerboard. The orange is only sharing the corners. As I'm finishing up with mine here, I'm going to go ahead and show that to you in just a second here. But go ahead, once I show that to you, to pause so you can finish yours. You see the orange there? I used the orange with my design. I went ahead and filled in all those white areas with the red. You can go ahead and stop the video and do yours as well. You can use a yellow or you can use a red because we are using all hot colors. Now I'm going to start the parabola and I'm going to use a blue and a green. We are going to start that in the center. So we're going to start that right in the center, those 4 points that are right in the center of our parabola, right at the center point of our paper. And we're going to do this in a checkerboard pattern as well. Our checkerboard pattern with the red, no, with the blue and the green. I'm going to pick one of my spots off that center point. I'm going to outline it and I'm going to fill it in a one direction manner, just like we did on the balls. And then I'm going to go across the point so only the corners are sharing, and I'm going to do the other one with the blue so it goes across the center. And then the other two areas, I'm going to be coloring those green in just a bit. But you see, only the corners are touching. We are not crossing the lines with the same color. So it's not like blue, solid blue in the center. It's a checkerboard pattern where only the blue is touching at the corner, and then when you go across and you do the green, only the green is touching at the corners. So we have those 4 in the center that are colored in. Now we're going to go down the line from those towards the corner, and we are going to do that checkerboard pattern. We're going to do blue, then green, blue, then green, blue, then green. So we started here. We have blue and green. Now we're putting blue. Then I'm going to do green. Then I'm going to do blue. So we're using these cool colors. I chose blue and green, but you could choose purple and blue or green and purple. It's completely up to you for these cool colors. And green and then blue. And they're getting smaller as you go, so just make sure that you're staying in the lines and staying straight on that line and filling them in till you get to the point. Then go on the other side, and where it's blue, put green next to the blue, and then do that all the way down till you get to the point. And make sure you're staying in the lines as it's getting smaller and smaller. And we're not crossing lines with our color. We're just putting our color in the shapes that have been formed and not across or doing two shapes. We're just doing it in one shape. Every other one. Green and blue. Blue. And then green. All the way till you get to the end. Making sure that you're following that pattern. Once you have finished that line, then you're going to do the next line that goes out from the corner, and you're going to do that all the way down to the corner, alternating colors. Blue, then green, blue, then green, and making sure that the colors are only sharing corners, not going straight across from the line. So the blue is only touching at the corners. It is not sharing a line. And the green is only touching a corner and not sharing the line. And we're doing those all the way down till we get to the corner. And fill it in. All the way to the corner. We're going to keep going with that. And once we get to the corner, we were going to go to the other side and we're going to complete the pattern again all the way out to the corner, making sure that we're staying within our lines and filling in only our shapes and not going across the lines. If you fill them in one direction, it's a really neat non-scribbled look. And you use the wide part of that marker, you shouldn't see any white in those spaces when you're done. And you keep it going all the way out until you get to the corner. Then you're going to turn your paper. Now you turn your paper, and then you're going to follow from those center line squares that we started with that center point, and we're going to go all the way out to the corner again on the other two corners. And we're going to do every other one as we go. My green is starting to dry out, so I'm going to alternate for a bit, but I may just end up going every other one with my blue and then filling in with my green afterwards to give my green time to rest. But right now it's still working a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and keep going every other one with the colors, but make sure they're every other one. Yep, my green has died. I'm going to let it rest a little bit, and I'm filling in the blue every other one, and then making sure it's sharing corners and not lines all the way out to the corner. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my green in. I've sped it up a little bit right now, so just to show you really quick what I'm doing. When you can stop the video at any point and work on yours to try to catch up. It's completely okay. And then you're going to move down to the next line and make sure that you are only sharing corners and not crossing any lines to make that checkerboard pattern. And then you're going to do each line, putting in that pattern all the way down until you get to the corners. So it's just kind of straight across, turn, you can do the next. You don't have to turn it. You can just completely keep filling in the lines until you get all the way down to the corner, and then do pick the next line to do. But make sure that all you're doing is sharing corners and not lines, and you can just keep going around and around and around until it is finished. It is a wonderful illusion. I love how the center of that parabola looks like it's pointing out when it's finished, and it goes down to that circular side. Great project, great results. Math and art can sometimes combine and make beautiful outcomes. So go ahead. Once you are finished, let's take a look at this once it's finished, and have fun with yours. Let's see. How did this turn out? Just a few more touches. Little bit more. I want to make sure I'm not seeing any of the white of the paper and that I've got all my spaces filled in. A little bit more. I guess there's a few more spots. Make sure that you look on your paper that you didn't miss anything and that you have it done. But isn't that a really interesting look? I just love these kind of patterns. Great project, takes a little bit of time. You take your time, but wonderful results. There we go. What a wonderful project. I hope you had fun with this. Tune in next time to I Love Art for Kids. Bye. Have a great day.